Your students are done?
Yes.
How'd it
Students
go?
are done. They made us a train. They did an excellent job. They put a ton of effort and detail into it, which is what we were looking for. And at the same time, they got to see or understand the structure of how a business would work with accumulative hours of work. I think we were sitting around, I don't know, maybe 1,300 hours, somewhere around there. Maybe a 1 to 5 scale for the train. Um, Lucas. But yes, each company, when they went through this, they ended up dividing up the work. Like one company took the wheels alone, the other company took like the bogies or the trucks, if you want to call them, either or. They made those. Each company cycled on to, say, one company took control of making the gas tank or the fuel tank for it, not gas tank, but fuel tank. And other company went ahead and did the bed plate and the sills. And then as the train kept coming together, each company had the front. One company had the front, one company had the back, and they kind of worked together towards each other. And then it became more of each company or group of like the 6 and 6 group of people ended up splitting up the detail and doing the detail on the train. So like detail from like bearing covers to like compressors with like brake lines to springs that actually work. Like they made their own springs. The detail with the steps, so they had to actually do their own custom steps that match what a train would actually have, to the rungs on the ladder, to even the chain that comes apart. And I think in one of the videos we showed that the hitch actually works on the front and back for it. So detail wise, like we've got, I think that's a sand cap. They've got a fuel tank cap down there. None of these hinge, but the idea behind all these were to make it look like they actually did hinge. And a couple people have actually tried to open those, but they did make on either side here an actual latch door and that actually opens. And they even made their own bullet hinge on either side. So they've designed that up themselves. And part of it was as well as to document the entire building of the train. So every piece of this train has been, if I can get the hinge back in, pay attention to it, has been blueprinted. So they've had to blueprint the entire train as they made it. So technically, if we wanted to, we could build another train. Um, yeah, I'm very happy and pleased with what the students did and how they came together and how they overcame a lot of their like design issues. I gave them rough dimensions, rough ideas for what I was looking for, and they kind of took it from there. And I gave them a lot of leeway when it came to the design. We used a lot of reference photos. Um, some train enthusiasts would recognize that this is an earlier model of an SD70, probably like mid 90s style with a little twist here and there. And but even down to the venting, the walkway, the hand railing. Um, if we look at the fans on the top, they actually put the detail in for which it actually looks like it is a fan on the inside on all of them. The interesting thing that we've had with people looking at it is like, yeah, it's a replica or a model, but is it built the same? And it is built exactly the same way in a lot of regards, maybe like 80-90% of it, how an actual train would be built. And that was part of the whole process as well, is to try to keep it true to form, just to obviously a smaller scale because a bigger one wouldn't fit in the shop. So, but even all the detail in the back, like it is um, quite amazing the amount of detail that they put it in. It was encouraging to see the students be so excited about it, and like to come in, and they wanted to work on the train. They went through the whole process, and we had, I guess, a little drama here and there where uh, one company was trying to poach employees from another company, which I was allowing if they wanted to do it, and then one person wanted to go independent, which was all allowable within the structure of how we had planned it for the course, because they would have still had to track the information of like their hours, um, consumables, costs, all that still had to be tracked if they went to another company or did their own company. So it was a really uh, a good learning experience. So the intent is to now paint it. Color wise, we're thinking to, because we're Sault Ste. Marie and we have Algoma Central Railway, we were thinking of doing colors similar to theirs, but putting our logo on it for APR Welding Academy. Plugging us there, APR Welding Academy. Okay. So we've got all our nice colors here. So what it mainly be would be walkway, bottom all black, main body gray. We'd have red and yellow striping along the gray part, from the nose being yellow and red back. And then we'll put the logo on there. And I think we also have planned for a plaque with the students' names on it in order to give them the credit, because they're the ones who built it. They're the ones who did a lot of the design work. So we want them to be able to have the credit for having built something like this.
Some people might question how a train has anything to do with level 3 metal fabricator. Can you elaborate how this actually does encompass everything that is in the curriculum?
Well, the curriculum for level 3 fabricator is like cost estimation, project development, material handling or material movement, material shipping, template work, blueprinting. So the reason why we tried to design it this way was to give every individual within the two groups an opportunity to kind of fulfill every role. So they had to, one person was project planning, obviously, based on the information that we were giving them for what we wanted to design. Everything that was designed were rough ideas that they then had to translate into blueprints and templates, which then they had to figure out how much material they needed or how much material for cost estimation was being wasted. They had to track the amount of welds that they had to do on it as well, like how much material we consumed for that, hours worked, wages that each person had. Were they using like consumables like grinding discs or buffing wheels? Any of that stuff had to be tracked. Quality control. This is a product that's going out to an individual or a company. So we had at least two people, if not everybody, had to be responsible for making sure that it met the customer's requirements with regards to that. When we got near the end, material movement, we had to be able to actually move this off. So it had to do with rigging and slinging of the object or train to get it off the table, move it safely into position to load it down back onto the bogies / trucks. So really, every aspect of the train, even the fact that we tried to build it how an actual train would be built and structured it within the two companies, really fulfilled all the requirements of the curriculum for giving every individual an opportunity to feel what it would be like from a project from conception right through to finished product.